Subaru saying chill on him. He was just trying to put on a show for the girls. And they call Shala the Sage Imposter. But she says she never claimed to be the Sage. The only reason she has the name is because her master gave it to her and she only has eyes for him. What was the last one I said? If you're not gonna hit a home run past the bat, let's go with if you're not gonna play Mozart on the piano, pass me the keys. That one was kind of tough, I'm not gonna lie. Y'all gonna like the last one though, because Subaru rejects her again. But Subaru says they need to come up with a plan to pass the final exam before Julius fully recovers. And Shala tells Subaru, I've waited hundreds of years for you to come back, so you guys can kill some time. And they really do kill some time because they start having an entire meal. And Shala's diet consisted of mob beef and whatever she could find. But she says she wants to study under Amelia so she can learn how to cook to win away to Subaru's heart. Here's my final one. If you do poetry and you're not gonna write with your pen, pass me your knowledge. Pass me the pen. That was probably the weakest one yet. But when Julius and Subaru switch shifts, Subaru decides to watch over Rim since Julius was watching over Anastasia. And while he's waiting for Rim, he falls asleep. But he notices Anastasia's gone, so when he goes out to search for her, he catches a bird. He follows the bird eventually until it disappears, but he notices a feather. And he thinks there's a secret tunnel nearby, and yes, there was. He puts his hand on the wall and crawls to a balcony. But since they're secluded, Subaru decides to press Anastasia and ask her some real questions. He wants to speak with the real Foxidna, but she decides to ask him, who are you really? After the white whale subjugation, even after you beat Sloth, Anastasia pulled up some files on you, but she didn't find anything. The earliest thing she saw was your accident in episode 13 before she knew who you were, but there's nothing before that. And she's suspicious as a result, so she says, did you solve that first puzzle on luck? He says, yeah. But then Subaru says, I have a question to ask you. What's going on with Anastasia? And Foxidna says there's no change in her condition. And Subaru's asking, how can she rule an entire kingdom if she's barely clinging on to life right now? And Anastasia says she has to. She would never give up because she has one main reason. But that's when we hear Julius saying, hold on, can you explain what you meant by that? Foxidna tries to play it off, but he says that's not the real Anastasia, and he points his blade to her neck. And he says, Subaru, I'm gonna need answers from you too. I don't care if we're buddy-buddy. And Subaru's saying he only found out because it was a coincidence. And Julius is saying, I'm her first knight. I should know. Subaru's like, well, throw away the title. But Julius is saying he can't do it. It's all he has left. So after Foxidna explains everything to him, she says, I'd give her body back if I could right now. I'm willing to sacrifice my life for her because she's my family and I want to see her prosper. I've been with her since she was young. So then Julius asks, back there when we fought Reed, why did you do what you did? And she says, oh, simply miscalculation. I used a lot of power because I didn't want you to die in that scenario, because if we lost you as an important asset, it would have been chips. It would have been fries. But Julius tells Subaru to stay out of this, and Subaru says, how can you decide what I worry over? And Julius snaps. He's saying, so you could decide about not telling me, but I can't decide how you perceive from here on out? And he says, oh, my fault, I gotta head out. That was too rude. But then Subaru says, is there anything you want to tell me before you did? He says, yeah, I would have done the same thing, buddy. But that's when we see Subaru get stopped by